So Christopher, welcome to Tallinn. How do you find it so far?
Well, thank you. It's been not even 24 hours, but I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed meeting the people I've been able to meet here and the discussion. I would like to say that I've enjoyed Tallinn, but I haven't seen it yet. I hope tomorrow to get around and see the city a little bit, because I've never been here before.
Right. Well, every new place is a new experience and lots of new things.
I'm sure I'll enjoy seeing the city in the morning.
What would you recommend the Estonian people? Maybe I should ask you this after you have seen the city and,
yes.
and spoken to the people more, but what do you see most important things for us as we are developing the film industry in our country, setting up film studios, setting up the film commission? What is the main points we need to remember?
Well, you know, to me, as I look at the landscape in Europe, I think that you benefit from a great opportunity, which is that you have the experience of others, some of which you've heard here earlier today, to learn from and to take the best from, and not to repeat mistakes that have been made in countries. And so, although I'm not an expert really on the sort of models that you're building, I have heard people speak about what they're doing in various countries within the Union and not, Norway, Finland, Denmark, others, and you can pick the best. And so that's a great opportunity, and I would encourage you to study those and to take advantage of them.
I understand your expertise in markets and in technology and all of the what do you say, film industry things that maybe Estonian art house filmmakers don't know or don't think about every day. How would you say, how important would this be for Estonian film community to start understanding and communicating with you?
Well, I think it's crucial for all of us who are involved in the film industry to be looking towards the internet as an opportunity, but to help make it a real opportunity in a responsible environment. I think these idealistic notions of free and letting content flow freely are nice, but they will not sustain ultimately a film industry or productivity. So it's crucial for everyone to be working on this, and we find that without exception, in countries in which we're active, the local creative community is as concerned about the issues as are we, and they see it as a question as an existential question ultimately. And so it's not it's an opportunity as well, and so that's the silver lining.
One situation that I have run into is purchasing film rights. Yes. Say to a small country like Estonia, wanting to buy film rights that are separate. Producers usually sell them through some sales agents. Yes. Who have to, let's say, sell them through a larger regional area, like through Russia, and so we get lots of the same films that come to Russia, for example, to major screens and large cinemas. Mm-hmm. How could that improve that small country can buy rights by its own, that it is seen as a region in itself rather than a studio looking at a region like Russia or Eurasia or Europe in the whole? Right. Is that impossible?
I don't think it's impossible. I think that to some extent here technology should be a friend, and hopefully with the digital cinemas and with the studios getting more used to distributing to digital cinemas, digital copies, they will be able, and other producers will be able to deal with countries directly, deal with distributors locally directly, without having to set up an infrastructure, because that's one of the difficulties in the traditional sort of world as we've known it for decades, is that you need a supporting infrastructure to distribute, and with digital, I think that there will be opportunities.
Okay. Now we're pretty much you're in a hurry to go to your next thing, but how would you balance say, art house films and large productions. Of course, every country has a dream of bringing in some Hollywood production or something big. We are just doing the small production mostly. We can't even dream of getting something large in here. It seems so impossible. Is it really impossible, or how would we do it?
No, I wouldn't say it's impossible. I think, we heard some interesting examples from the folks earlier today about how they've managed to create an environment in which they're able to attract film production and co-production. So it's not at all impossible for smaller countries or larger countries. That will be there. I think that in terms of art house production, that has to be enabled. I think that sort of production is important to countries to have, and for them to create their own filmmakers, their own next generation filmmakers, and for there to be space for a kind of an expression of self at the local level that would otherwise be crowded out. So those sorts of productions have to be financed and ultimately through public funds, I think. And hopefully there are screens available for people to go see those films that are made, which has been a big problem lately for art house films.
Can you point out a couple of good reasons for Estonian government to put money into, or benefits, some kind of benefit plan into action for the film industry, rather than, say, raising the pensions and raising the teachers? How would you convince government if they need to do something that is more vital?
Yeah, I think that the only way you could make a convincing argument for government on that level is to convince government that it's actually not just a spend of money, that it's an investment that ultimately creates revenue, generates new taxes that can be used for the schools, for the teachers, for the hospitals. Because otherwise it's very difficult. I mean, there will be, as we've heard today, some leaders who will understand the inherent value and necessity of investing in culture. But it's difficult. It's a difficult sell in times of economic difficulty, let's say. And so, ultimately, I think today it's the economic arguments that one has to be putting forward in addition to, say, the cultural arguments.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Can we consider you a friend of the Estonian
You
film
bet,
community?
absolutely, and a friend of your country too, of Estonia. It's tomorrow I'll get to see it more, but it's a pleasure being here, and I've enjoyed meeting everyone I've met so far.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.